Hey everyone, it's Jason. Welcome to an unboxing slash slight play, or not playthrough, but how to play of Cafe Chaos, an Odd Ones Out game. So the Odd Ones Out here is James is the creator. And why am I gonna mess up his last name? I don't remember off the top of him. James Rowson. So I thought it was. So he's a YouTuber who does this like little animation. There's a little white guy here. Just some really funny videos. So he has a couple of different games that he came out with, which are really fun, kind of like party games. Fairly quickish. So you list up to 3 to 8 players, up to 90 minutes. So in this video, I'm going to do a quick just run through on how the turn works, and we'll kind of go back through a breakdown of what all the different cards are, and then we will go through. After we went through all the different cards, we will go through the expansion packs, which were originally Kickstarter stuff, but they're all available on the Odd Ones Out website. So you can pick this up. So what is Cafe Chaos? It's basically a lunchroom food fight game. Is the best way to describe it. So every player is going to get to play as a character. They're going to have 3 actions they can perform every turn. And then there's going to be special events that will affect what goes on in that. So, beginning of the turn is like one player gets the big giant James here, first player marker. So that they know they're the first player going, and then you go in clockwise order. So, depending on what actions you pick are going to determine on, you kind of have to guess based on what you think the feel of the game is going to be like, if you're going to be targeted, or if you need to draw cards, or what you need to do. But it also depends on maybe your priority in the turn. If you're the first player, you're not going to be, what card you play first is going to dictate what you get to do. So you do this, first thing you do is you take a target card, and there's several different ones of these, and you pick what player you're going to target. So everybody knows who you're targeting before you even play cards down. So they at least have an idea. So that way, if you have 3 players all targeting you, like, okay, I have to prepare for that. Versus if no one's targeting you at all, then you kind of have a little free-for-all where maybe you want to go. But everyone plays it at the same time, so it's not like player 1 knows what player 2 or 3 is going to be doing. Then you get 3 basic action cards: throw, grab, and duck. These are the main ways you play the game. So, throwing is attacking with food. This is how you deal damage to your opponents. And what you're trying to do is deal 10 points. So you have Cafe Chaos written across the top, and you get these little damage points, which are little tomatoes, and you put them over the letters every time you take damage. And once every player is taking 10 damage, then the game can end. Or maybe it's one of the first. It can't be one of the first player. I think when you take 10 damage, you're out. I was just trying to see if I could find. Yeah. End of a round. Anyone who raised 10 or more points is split. The game is over. The winner is a player or players with the lowest amounts. So it's not even trying to eliminate a single player at a time. It's just whoever basically can get hit the least. We have duck, which lets you avoid a throw. So this is basically your dodging ability. So you can attack, you can dodge, and then the third basic card everybody gets is you may take any card from the floor. That's the multiple card symbol means, or you may take 2 yellow cards, which are actually food cards. So if you want just the food cards, you can get 2 of them. But if you take one of the other colored cards, you can get more. What are the other colored cards? They're basically things that can add on or give you extra bonuses. So although the food ones are important to have because you need them to start an attack, the other ones can be helpful for bonuses. So that's going to be based on what's in your hand. So these are, again, the 3 that everybody has. They have them every single turn. So if I'm the first player, it's not going to make sense for me to probably duck because nobody's attacking me on the first turn because I get to go first, then everyone else goes. Although it could, because so what you do is you play all your 3 actions down on your turn, and then what happens is the first player, which in this case would be me, like everybody at the same time flips over their card, and then the first player goes. So I get to do my grab action first. Player 2, if he has an attack action, attacks, and then player 3 has dodge. They dodge any attack that came towards them. Now, it doesn't matter, so player 3, because all cards are revealed at the same time, if player 3 has dodge, he's going to dodge any of the attacks, whether it's mine or player 2's, in the same way if I had the duck attack, or duck action, I would duck any attacks that came at me. So if I have everyone attacking me, or targeting me, I might assume they're going to try and hit me right away. I could try and duck right away. This is where it gets kind of interesting and kind of luck-based, because you don't know. Everyone could target you, but it doesn't mean their first option's attack. So if nobody attacked me, even if people were targeting me, but nobody attacked me this turn, I would just pick up my stuff. Then after everyone's played, then we flip over to part 2. So then now my second action is I get to start round 2. I get to throw my food. Targeting whoever I targeted, and then everyone else gets to take theirs, which might be their pickup, their throw, or whatever. And then my third action would be my dodge. So how do you attack? You're going to have yellow food cards. So they're going to give you +1 damage. So if I play this down, I'm just doing 1 damage to whoever I targeted. Alternatively, you can play a topping instead. So I could have just played a topping and done 1 damage, or I can combo them together and do 2 damage. So I could have a topping. So basically I have a baby bean burrito dripping in nacho cheese, make it a full 2-card combo and do 2 damage to somebody. The third thing you can play are conditions, which are juicy, add to a food attack. This can only be added to an attack. So either I can make a juicy baby bean burrito or juicy nacho cheese, but I can't just play juicy by itself. Yes, you can combo these and get extra bonuses. So these are the main things you're going to do. And then there is a little chart here that everyone's going to get are combos. So showing +1/+1, you get 2 points if you combine, the yellow and red, or the red and red you can combine as well. Or if you combine the blue with one of them, you get 3 points, which is basically listed on there. But then now what's neat is if you do a 3-hit combo, so if you do blue and then two reds, or blue, a yellow, and a red, you get 4 points. You get your total points for playing them, because it'd be 2, 3, 4. So it's always adding up, so it's not like some special number. But you also get to heal 2 damage. So playing bigger combos is better, but sometimes it might just be what you have in your hand or what you want to do. And then once I go do my round 3, and I get to try and dodge cards. There we go. Everyone plays. I pick up all my action cards, and we reset for round 2. That's basically how the game is played. Then you keep going. There are a couple of extra other little things that get thrown in there. So each character you play as has their own action card. So each person will get a special action that only they can do. So we'll go over those. So that's kind of fun. So there are extra action cards we can do. Then at the beginning of every turn, besides the first turn, you also play an event card. So this one says best day ever. It says all players get +1 random card. All players +1 rank. All players get 1 card. Players with the most splats get a bonus card. This basically lets everyone gain a card, and then if you have whoever has the most damage gets an extra card. So that's definitely a fun thing to do as well. And then there's more, bunch of different foods and toppings and stuff. Like I said, we'll go through all that, but that's more or less the gist of the game. Is you're just trying to do those couple of different actions and then see about winning the game. I'm going to pause quick, just reset, and then we'll hop and look at the cards. Alright, so in the book, it's going to show you all the different cards you're going to get, all the different stuff, which is really nice. Let's just do a brief explanation on how to play everything. So basically, get stuff started. So I'm just going to kind of fly through this. This is a nice little thing here. It just is a reminder on what each one does. just showing like what your different cards, any card, condition, food, topping. Basically, they match the colors of the cards, so they're pretty easy. There are some blue splash damage and some targeting cards once you get to the special cards. They're fun. Your throw, your duck, and your grab actions. Makes sense. Pick targets, place your actions, and then after the actions are placed, then you choose your events. And then you do your actions, splat, rinse, repeat, check for victory. Reminder of how your points work. But again, you get the extra little cards, so you don't have to keep flipping to the bonus. Epic combo and mega heal. So if you play 3 cards together and it hits, you have an epic moment. Shout Cafe Chaos. In addition, you also heal too because you're awesome. So that can help make the game last a little bit longer. So there are a couple other rules. There is a hand limit. There is none. Take as many as you want. 9-point rule. Sometimes it is enough. When you're at 9 points, you are immune from any damage to yourself or events that would knock you out. So if you have a card that might say, and I think this might be some of the special cards or the event cards that might deal point of damage. If you're at your basically point where you're going to end the game, it has to come from another player. The thing is, you could be at 9. It doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be the target because it's whoever has the least amount of hits wins. So if you have 2 other people that are tied, even though they can take you out and win, they might want to try and take out one of the other players first or deal more damage to them beforehand. And this is the floor is full. So the floor starts with 5 cards. So I didn't show this in my little playthrough, but you lay out 5 cards to start with. So when you have to pick up cards, you can see which ones you're getting. So you don't just draw them from the top of the deck. You actually just see what cards are there so you can take what you might need. But again, there's generally just the 3 types. You don't have any special abilities, they're just the bonuses. But anytime you pick up one, you always then draw a card to replace it. This way, there's always 5 cards out. You can also do an additional thing where you can add an extra character actions if you want different action cards that might come up instead of just the food cards. Be aware that most action cards are stronger when played early in clockwise rotation. Now this is an extra little fun part of the rule book, and I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but this is going to go through all the different cards. So it explains what they do, like these are action cards. So Cannonball, Catch, Cheat, Cheer. So these are like character action cards, but then there's like the basic like duck. But like it does is it kind of specifies it. What kind is a character, is a basic. What it does is it like draw, heal, defense, variable. But it tells what the card actually does. Like Catch says, no damage from food, take all red and yellow card from attacks. But then down there it actually explains what it actually does a little bit better. So I love when games, when they don't have 50 cards, are able to do this. Just because if you have a quick rule, it does it. So this is going to go through all the basic ones. I'm not going to spend too much time because we'll look at each card. But then it does all the actions as well. Now this goes through, and this is also going to show the ones from the expansion packs as well. So there's an animator pack. Then there's a junk food pack, a Subway pack. I think there was one other pack they didn't show. So maybe it might not have the last pack in here. But then it goes through all the events and it does the same thing, which is really fun. Yeah, I think there's one more pack they didn't show. I think there's like a royalty pack. But that may have came out after the book was done. But it's still fun that it includes at least most of those. And then here's all the awesome people that worked on it. Of course, James, and then all the other people that worked on making the game. The companies. Alright, so let's go ahead and let's go ahead and look at what all the different cards are. So one thing is you're going to get these little play mats. Are they necessary? No, but they're fun. And you're going to get 8 of these, so 1 for each player. Alternatively, you can buy, I'll show off the ones I have at the end when I get to the expansion stuff. You can buy other different playmats on the web store. So let's look at some of the cards. We're going to get the combo cards. I'm going to just adjust my camera a bit here. So the base game is, I believe, available in major retailers, but you can also, again, pick all these up on the website. So we have the different combo cards, which can have different foods showing on the bottom. Otherwise, they're always the same, and there's going to be 8 of these, so 1 for each player. Then on the back side, they're also going to have just how you're doing. Start round, pick target, action, events, food fight, check for victory. I think that little things like this should be included in every single game. Just a quick turn thing you can put down for newer players. Not assuming everyone knows how to play everything. So yeah, you have multiple actions. Just say, oh, this is what I have to do each turn. There we go. Then we're going to get target cards, which are the same on both sides. So I'm not going to flip them over. Like they're just bottles. They're going to show an arrow, show who you're targeting. So we have a relish, mayonnaise, secret sauce, mustard, steak sauce, barbecue, ketchup, and soy sauce. It's just 8 of those. If you're not playing less than 8 players, just don't include the ones you're not using. And then we have all our basic ones which we're showing off, which are grab, throw, and duck. And then there's a giant pile of them, so there's enough for 1 set for each of the 8 players. Then they do have the same purple backs as your food cards, so that nobody's going to know if you have one in your hand. For some reason, they're not going to know which one you have. Because if you have them plus your character actions or other basic actions, they won't know which action you had in your hand. Like, if you only always had them 3, then they could have had a different back. But since you could have them, you could have your food, they're not going to know if you're playing duck or if you're playing your character action. There's additionally bonus actions that you can get drawn to. These will be on the floor with the food. So you can pick up one of these instead. These would be the white listed in like the multicolors. It's usually like red, blue, yellow, and then white. These are the white cards. So bonus actions just replace one of the other ones. You can do a catch, which lets you take no damage from food, but then you take all of the red and yellow from the attacks, but not the purple one if they did any. We have lob, attack with a food, so you just do your food attack. Also splatters left and right, not on you, so +1 damage to the next players. This becomes a lot more fun if you're playing more than just 3 players. I think that makes the game will make the game a lot more fun. We have hide. All actions against you fail. You draw 2 cards, but you take 1 point of damage. So you're going to take a point of damage anyhow, but it might be worth protecting you. We have smash. Food attacks splat at your target and may add the different colors for combos. So if you're doing different actions, this might be something you might add that smash. Yeah, so you could, you could splash some people. We have sprint. Draw 1 card from the deck and take 1 from the floor, so get some extra cards. We have cheat. Duplicate your last action to not be used action 1. So this would be needed if like you played attack. You could play this to do a second attack or double ducks or your special ability twice. And then we have tackle. Target gains +1 damage and drops 1 food to the floor. So it's a straight damage, but 1 damage might be all you really need to do. Alright, so those are the basic actions. Let's look at our food, and these again all have the purple backs. So we'll go through these kind of quickly. Baby bean burrito, beefsteak tomato, chili, chocolate surprise, corn dogs, creamed corn, monster fish taco, giant turkey leg, Kung Pao chicken, large trout, lime yogurt, mystery meat, pigs in a blanket, pulled pork sandwich, raw eggs, dino nuggets, tofu, tuna melt, extra cheesy mac and cheese, mashed potatoes, pie thai, frankenbeans, a half-eaten cheeseburger, a beefy wiener, some hot wings, jumbo gumbo, jalapeno poppers, and a kale smoothie. So there's quite a few varieties. There's a lot of food cards. They're expecting you to probably be doing 1-2 damage every most turns. When you're getting the 3 or 4 with some of the other ones, it should be more extra, not a common thing. So then we have our toppings, which again can be played by themselves, combined with each other, or combined with a food. So you have dripping in nacho cheese, slathered in coleslaw, covered in boysenberry jam, globbed in peanut butter, smothered in turkey gravy, topped with tater tots, and wrapped in thick cut bacon. So again, not terribly many other toppings. And then we have conditions. We have scalding, rotten, frozen, steamy, moldy, sour, and juicy. So it's really, if you really want to get the most out of this game, I'm going to right now recommend you're going to have to buy the expansion packs, which I'll do a second video. We'll do a second video going over all of those because there's a bunch more cards. Just that way this one video is not super long. But yeah, because you're not getting a ton of these, but if you add them, you're going to have a lot more variety of extra different cards and a lot more of them. But we'll go over them in the next video. Then we have our event cards, which are green. So again, these trigger every turn except the first turn. So we have BFF, Best Friends Forever. In clockwise order, all players must switch their targets. Fire Drill, all players accept or discard all food cards except one. Nice Old Lunch Lady. In clockwise order, all players take one red or yellow from the top of the trash, which is your discard pile. Mix Up, everyone swaps all food cards to the left. Sprinklers, all players take 1 damage. I almost wish this was the other way. It's almost a heal, because like you're getting clean. School Nurse, all players with the most hits heal 2. Janitor Duty, the most hits is Janitor. Deal the entire floor to the other players any way you wish, then heal 1, refresh the floor to 5. So this could like easily change the game. Cruel and Unusual Punishment. In this round is successful with any attack. With the 3 food cards, you gain +1 attack or damage. Time Machine. All players' actions 1, 2, and 3 are now ordered 2, 3, 1, shifted to the left. Shuffle this card, and all discarded events back into the deck. Hunger Games. This round, any action that gains the floor, draw that player may also take 1 from the floor. And the best ever, which we saw earlier, all players get +1, and whoever has the most damage gets 1 extra. And again, the rule book explains it a little bit better, which is really nice. Then before we get into the character cards, the last thing I didn't show off too much is we have all these tomatoes. So there's a lot of them. I like that they are, actually they look like little tomatoes. So that's kind of neat, because they could have just made them little red clear dots or whatever, but that is actually really fun. Alright, so the last thing we have to go through are our characters. And the characters are going to have red backs, just to show that, so they don't get mixed in the deck. But we have Cannonball James, and that's going to show his action card, so you know what goes with them. The action cards will again have purple, so they can get mixed in with your regular hand. So we have Cannonball says, from the floor take 1 card, then give 1 food to the target, then 1 splash damage to left or right of the target. And if you are familiar with Odds Without, you're going to start recognizing a lot of these characters. We have Harry the Moth, who has Panic. And Panic says you draw 1 from the floor. If attacked by food, you may drop 1 to avoid the attack. We have Paul the Bully, who has Shove. Says, attack without food. Target counts all food in their hand and gains +1 for each, max to 3. So he gets 1 for each different color. Floof, who has Fetch. Give 1 food to your target, then take the top 2 red or yellow from the trash. The Daring Devil, who has Swing. Attack with food. Any food cards from the with any food cards from the floor by itself. So that could be helpful. We have Furry. We have Cheer. Says choose to draw 1 or heal 1. Someone else you choose gains the exact same bonus. We got Baby James, who has Spin. All food attacks splash back at your attacker. Emo Friend, who has Mope. All attacks without food gain +1 damage. Only works if you have as many or more hit attacks than your target. Because again, they can just play toppings instead of food cards. Mad Scientist, who has Outsmart. All attacks against you change your target except Splash. And then Fanatic, who has Stalk. Take one randomly. Take one card random from target. If they're not targeting you, you may change their target. And here's the whole thing: is once you play, a card, it goes to the discard pile. So yeah, that's the that's the basics of the game. I just tried to see the rule for actions. Now basic actions go back to your hand. And character actions go back to your hand. I was trying to just figure out what happened with the special actions. If it says it and I'm not seeing it for whatever reason. One sec. Alright, so the very last thing I just want to point out, I kind of showed this earlier, but just to make sure I specify, it says, want to add unused character actions to the deck, or you're using your regular basic actions as well, is you want to make sure you have equal number of actions, toppings, and conditions, because there's less of them. Then add 4 times the number of food to one of the other ingredients. So if you're playing with 8 of the action food topping cards, then you have them just so they're equal amounts. Your regular actions, special actions will go back into the deck if they're bonus ones, but if they're the character or basic, they should always go back to your hand. Only you can use your basic and your character, but the other ones will just go to the trash like anything else, so you don't get to keep them. So you pick them up and you get rid of them. But yeah, that's Cafe Chaos. So check out video part 2. I will go over the expansions and some of that stuff. And some of the other Odd One Out or other creator games that I'm going to be doing videos on. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you later. Bye.